Assalamu alaikum students, hope so you will be fine. Today we will discuss about simple machines. A simple machine is a mechanical device, mechanical means relating to machines, that changes the direction or quantity of a force. These machines make our work easier. There are 6 types of simple machines and they are lever, pulley, wedge, screw, wheel and axle, inclined plane. These machines are used in our daily life. Inclined planes are widely used to move heavy loads. For example, ramp used to load things into truck. Wedge is used to push things apart, such as blade of a knife cuts things into different pieces. Pulley is used to lift a heavy loads. For example, pulley is used in cranes to lift a heavy load. Screw is used to hold things together or for tighten the things, while wheel and axle is used to raising weights or water buckets from wells. And we also use lever in a different compound or complicated machines. For example, lever used in scissor, tweezers or in wheelbarrow. Simple machines make work easier. For example, the wedge is pushed under something to split it or separate it. The inclined plane and wedge are used to move object. Wedge is used to push things apart and also used to lift or push heavy loads, while inclined plane is used in the form of ramp to lift or push the heavy objects. To lift this heavy load straight up would take a lot of effort. Rolling it up a ramp, inclined plane reduces the effort required. Using a longer ramp reduces the effort even more. A steeper ramp requires more effort. ये जो हम inclined plane यूज़ कर रहे हैं एज अ रैम्प, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल उन्होंने कहा अगर ये ना हो तो ज़ाहिर सी बात है ये जो हैवी ऑब्जेक्ट्स है इनको उठाने में हमें बहुत ज़्यादा अपनी फोर्स यूज़ करनी पड़ेगी. लेकिन अगर हम लोग ये रैम्प यूज़ करते हैं जो कि inclined plane है तो हमारा काम आसान हो जाता है. अगर ये इंक्लाइंड प्लेन हम लोग अगर हम इसकी लेंथ जो होती है वो इंक्रीज़ कर देते हैं तो हमें हैवी लोड को लिफ्ट करने या पुश करने में इतनी ज़्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं करनी पड़ती. लेकिन अगर ये इसकी लेंथ जो है वो कम है तो हमें तब भी फोर्स जो होती है वो ज़्यादा अप्लाई करनी पड़ती है. इसलिए उन्होंने कहा यूजिंग अ लॉन्गर रैम्प रिड्यूसेस द एफर्ट इवन मोर एंड स्टीपर रैम्प रिक्वायर्स मोर एफर्ट. नाउ वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द लीवर. Lever basically is a simple machine and it is a long rigid bar which turns about a fixed point which is known as the pivot or fulcrum. We can apply force at the one end of the lever and we can lift the load at the other end of the lever. There are 3 kinds of lever. In first kind of lever, the fulcrum or pivot is present between the effort and the load, and the distance between the effort and the fulcrum is equal to the distance between the fulcrum and the load, and this kind of lever is used in scissor. In second kind of lever, the load is between the effort and the fulcrum or pivot, and the distance between the effort and the load is greater or larger than the distance between the load and the effort or pivot. This kind of lever or second kind of lever is used in wheelbarrow. In third kind of lever, the effort is between the fulcrum and the load, and the distance between the load and the effort is greater than the distance between the effort and the fulcrum. And the third kind of lever is used in the tweezers. Levers are simple machines. They help to move a load. A lever is a rigid bar that rests on a pivot called fulcrum. The object to be moved is called load. The object is to be moved is called load. The force exerted on the lever is called the effort. The force, effort and the pivot can be applied in different places. Here are 3 kinds of lever. The first group of levers or first kind of lever includes scissors and pliers. The effort force is at one end. The pivot is in the middle. The pivot is in the middle and we can apply force or effort at one end and we can lift the load at the other end, and the load is at the other end. In the second kind of lever, the second group of levers includes the wheelbarrow. The effort force is at one end, effort force is one end, the pivot is at the other end, and the load is in the middle, and load is in the middle. In the third kind of lever, this third group of levers includes tongues and tweezers. The effort force is in the middle. Effort force is in the middle between the load and the pivot. Between the load and the pivot. The effort force is more than the load force, and the effort traveled distance is less. Effort traveled distance is less. Means the distance between the pivot and the effort is less as compared to the distance between the effort and the load. This is the third kind of lever. In scissor, first kind of lever is used. This is the pivot point or fulcrum. We can apply force or effort at the one end of the scissor, and we can lift things or push things apart at the other end of the scissor. Now we'll discuss the question on page number 76. Discuss and answer. Can you remember the 6 kinds of simple machines and examples of them? Try to come up with at least 2 examples of each kind of simple machine. The answer is, the 6 kinds of simple machines are inclined plane, lever, wheel and axle, wedge, pulley, screw. The examples of inclined planes are slide and funnel. Lever is used in scissor and seesaw. Wheel and axle is used in the form of screwdriver and doorknob. The examples of wedge are knife and axe. Pulley is used in flagpoles or crane. Screw is used as a bolt nut or drill bit. The next question is, what is a compound machine? A compound machine is a machine in which 2 or more simple machines have been put together. For example, in scissor, 2 types or kinds of simple machines are used. The first one is lever and the second one is wedge. We use wedge in this scissor in the form of blades, and we use blade to cut things into different pieces. Now we will discuss concept check. Label the load, effort and pivot on this pair of scissors. This is a pivot point or the fulcrum of the lever, and we can apply force or effort at this end of the scissor, and we can lift the load at this end of the scissor. Okay student, hope so you will understand. Thank you for listening.